Hi everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. I'll be having a look at oil WTI now. I think last week when I've done the checkpoint, the price was trading at that point here. I was explaining basically that I got stopped out on my short position here, and of course the price did drop down here, so it was not a comfortable position to be in, looking at the price going in the right direction after that spike here. And yeah, again, I was talking about high volatility and how I was struggling to deal with it. Again, having a stop loss higher at 29 or even potentially 30, that was exposing myself way too much. So yeah, the lesson learned here is I definitely need to have a closer look at my entry point, so I can actually afford to have stop losses a little bit wider and not getting stopped out on that kind of move here. That was quite a shame, but yeah, that's the game. Now, what I'll be looking for next week, keep having a short or bearish BF on oil at the moment for many reasons, but the main one is I just don't believe in that production cuts that we're having. Historically, they've been unable to achieve the kind of cut they were actually claiming they would actually do, even much lower than the 10 million. So now they are expecting to cut 5 more outside the OPEC plus, which is, I think, completely unrealistic. They are not capable of doing this, and the US will not follow up with that. So 15 million overall, that would be half of the actual drop on the demand at the moment. So still not sufficient, but even these 15, they're not achievable. I think if we can see a cut of 6, 7, potentially 8, that'll be already quite an achievement in terms of what they've done in the past. So I think even Russia, traditionally, when they promised they would actually cut, did maybe marginally reduce production a little bit, but sometimes they did even increase their production. So let's see what's gonna happen in the coming weeks. But I think the next production figures we're gonna have will be far from this 50 million barrel per day that they're actually claiming they will cut. So we'll see. Now, what I'll be looking at, basically we have now that trend line running here. So I think that triangle now has got some validity, especially because it does actually match, if we bounce from here, the trend line on the RSI. So what I see for next week, because we had some news about more cut to come, and that's the G20 did validate the cut or something like this. I see the price bouncing up there to the 26 mark. Careful in case of we got that kind of spike again, that will revisit that zone. So my plan basically will be to go short, but building short from here. So potentially entering half a position here and waiting should we actually keep going there. So no stop loss on that position, or maybe really far away because the position will be really small, and then waiting for potentially moving up there and entering second half of the position. But the idea will be then to go back here and continuing to make touch to this until we actually get to the end of that triangle that I think is going to break to the bearish, but we will see that. So what's the timing for this? 14th of April, so we might have some resolution of that triangle midweek. Nothing will happen in terms of the production by then. I think they say 1st of May they would start cutting, but at the moment they will keep flooding the market with oil. The contracts will be very hard to secure. We've seen some other producer reducing price a lot to be able to basically just sell their product, so that will keep putting some pressure on the price, and I don't believe we break above that trend line here. And at the end of the week, or sorry, maybe a bit earlier, I'll go and break down lower, at least to get to that point and potentially make new lows, but we'll see that. Looking at the quote reports, we have an open interest increasing, so the 7 was here, increasing on the move down from here. I think it was probably matching the week, but not highly significant. So the management is still adding to long position there, they build a reasonable position, reasonable long positions. They're still having many options to actually keep that price going down. So we'll see that. There's no really clear indication, but since they are accumulating long, it will actually put a floor to the price as well until it does actually break. So if it does break, of course. But yeah, we will see that, but that's basically the plan for next week. So trading that range, shorting here, cannot exclude that something could happen that might actually make the price breaking lower earlier than that, but yes, we'll see that. And of course, keeping an eye in case of we have any break above that trend line and exiting the trade, because if we can get a closure higher there, especially in that area or even higher, will signal that we have a definite continuation of the uptrend, so short position will have to be closed. Yes, that's all. I'll make another checkpoint during the week and potentially Wednesday to see how we go with that triangle and where we sit. And until then, trade safe and speak soon. Cheers, bye.